Hi, and welcome to Chapter 2, and we're going to go ahead and look at Learning Objective 1. And Learning Objective 1 looks at what we call the Big Five economic questions. I think your book terms them as three, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and jump into it, and I'll explain these to you. Okay, and we're going to be looking here at a couple of things, but the first one I want to look at are these three fundamental economic questions. So the fundamental economic questions are: what will be produced? How will it be produced? For whom will it be produced? Who will produce it? These aren't going to be on the exam. I'm just going to hold you to these three. And for what purpose? So when we look at these fundamental economic questions, what we tend to find is there's different types of economies. And there can be a command economy. Okay. And then on the other side, there's a capitalistic or a market-based. Oh, excuse me. Okay. So this is rather a continuum. If we look at command economies, the government owns those factors of production that we talked about earlier. So the government answers these questions. They decide what will be produced, how to produce it, and for whom to produce it. Okay. Under a market economy, the people or society decides what will be produced through our demand. We decide what's going to be in the marketplace, how to produce it. Again, entrepreneurial ability, making those businesses to be able to produce it, and then for whom to produce. And this is where we see two basic things: is those that can afford it will get it, or in the absence of that, there'll be social programs where the government will decide how to produce it. Now, it's interesting in looking at this in the COVID crisis, and I'm looking at vaccines, right? And what we're seeing is some of the countries, okay, that are in a command economy are doing a little bit better with it than those in a market types of scenarios. So it's kind of interesting. And what we really talk about in economics is the trade-off, if you will, between safety and between freedom. Okay, so it's interesting. And again, these economic questions are just kind of who owns the factors of production of land, labor, capital, who controls them, and then for what purpose. And again, some of the industries that we have might be a little more over here in a command type of approach, whereas most of ours are over here in a capitalistic types of society. So again, what does each question address? And again, there's normally five here. You know, what's going to be produced, how to produce it, for whom, and who will produce is another that we tend to have as well. But again, it's an intro class, so we're going to kind of stick to some broad brush strokes on a few of these. Wow. Okay, so that's the end of this particular learning objective. And I will see you back, I think, for objective 2 and 3. I've used those in previous courses, but I will see you back in, oh, no, 3. I'll see you back in objective 3, where we're going to talk about marginal analysis. Thanks.